Confidence is not, they will like me. Confidence is, I'll be okay if they don't. Expecting everyone to like us is setting up ourselves for failure. There is no one in the world that is liked by everyone. Just look at Twitter and Instagram. Even the people you adore and admire are criticized by so many. How you feel about yourself when you're by yourself is true confidence. Instead of asking others, how do I look in this? Ask yourself, how do I look in this? Define for yourself what is important to you, what you value, what you believe is the definition of happiness and success. No amount of compliments will matter if you don't compliment yourself. No amount of likes on Instagram will matter if you don't like yourself. And if you change what you like so that others like you, then you will end up hating yourself. When you only feel pretty when someone says it, your beauty is dependent on them. When you only feel smart when someone says so, your intelligence is dependent on them. When you only feel successful when someone sees it, your success is dependent on them. You can spend your whole life spending money you don't have, buying things you don't need to impress people you don't like. You can spend your whole life trying to be seen by becoming someone you don't know to be liked by people you don't like. When you start seeing your worth, you won't need others to see it. When you start seeing your worth, you'll find it harder to stay around people who don't. Remember, a flower doesn't think of competing to the flower next to it. It just blooms. When we judge what we have, we forget who we are. The most beautiful thing we can wear in the world is confidence. Confidence comes from who we are, what we stand for, and why we do what we do. Again, I'm not saying don't work out or eat healthy and take care of your body. What I'm saying is, don't expect that alone to make you feel better about yourself. Your diet isn't just what you put into your body, it's also what you put into your mind. If you keep saying things like, my body is not good enough, then that's what you're going to be feeding your mind. The deep work starts within. When we recognize we have unlimited potential, when we recognize we have a purpose, when we recognize that we are enough, when we realize we are enough, everything changes. We stop relying on external things to build our internal self-esteem. We have to fall in love with the sound of our feet walking away from things that are not right for us anymore. Because remember, no amount of makeup, clothes, or shoes is going to change how you feel about yourself. Focus on yourself. Focus on your own role, your strengths. That will make all the difference. And that leads us nicely to the next lesson. There's different ways to play the game. Some people spin the ball. Some people go for a straight, direct roll. Some people use 2 or 3 fingers. The list continues. And the truth is, it's exactly the same in our lives. You will see some people succeeding in a certain way and others doing it completely differently. The goal is to find your way, your method, your approach, the direction that works for you without trying to copy or mimic or imitate someone else. And we've all experienced this. Sometimes your ball ends up in the gutter. I'm sure you've had that before. Sometimes your throw was completely out of control and your ball went directly into the gutter. Or maybe sometimes you actually felt well prepared and confident, but the ball still ended up in the gutter. In life, just like that ball, sometimes we feel we're in the gutter. But there's something to learn from that. And just like the ball comes back, when we learn through our experience, we get another opportunity to improve, another opportunity to try, another opportunity to succeed. As Oscar Wilde said, all of us are in the gutter, but some of us are looking up at the stars. Sometimes you hit a spare. You threw your best shot, you got the angle perfectly right, you prepared with everything you had, and that one pin is still up there. Sometimes, despite our best efforts in life, we don't get what we want. Not everything aligns. Everything doesn't go to plan. Life is a lot like bowling. Keep your eyes on the ball, your concentration in the game, and your mind out of the gutter. And in the end, we realize we have to be just like that bowling pin. No matter how hard we're hit by life, no matter how hard we're hit by others, we have to keep stepping back up. This is for anyone who has ever told that their idea would fail. By their parents, by their teachers, by their bosses. For anyone who's ever heard the words, "It's not good enough." The interesting thing is, those opinions didn't change the world, but the people behind the ideas did. They said this was unworthy of the attention of practical or scientific men. They were talking about the light bulb. They said she doesn't have a special perception or feeling. They were talking about Anne Frank's diaries. Imagine if German philosopher Leibniz, Charles Babbage, Alan Turing, John von Neumann, and Grace Hopper didn't believe that their world was going to contribute to something, even if they never saw it. That's the computer, by the way. And what if Rosa Parks and Coretta Scott King didn't fight and stand up for civil rights? The world might look a little different today. Now, you may not even recognize some of those names. They may not even be in your history books, but they had an impact. They made a difference. They transformed and changed people's experiences. And remember, your idea will live longer than you. And today we need these ideas more than ever to create a sustainable planet, to improve global health, to feed 9 billion. Actually, I have a challenge for you. What's the craziest thing you could think of? An idea that could change the world? Maybe you'll build a shoe store out of old shoes. Maybe you'll use plastic bags to create solar-powered backpacks for kids. Maybe you'll create robotic airplanes that distribute medicines to remote places. Now, those ideas sound impossible to be true. The craziest thing? They've all been done. It's amazing what we can do when our passions meet a purpose greater than ourselves. So that's why we need to explore our curiosities, invest in what interests us, follow what intrigues us. Transformational ideas can come from anywhere and anyone, and that's why we're chasing genius.